Hi, behind me is the Power Wheels Dune Racer. This happens to be an older model. I'm not sure how old it is. I got that from a friend, and what I did was the battery, the Power Wheels battery wouldn't take a charge anymore. It was done, and she had a replacement battery, and she asked me to install a battery and see if I can get it going. So I went ahead and did that. What I'm going to do next is convert it over to a 20 volt system instead of a 12 volt system. But in the meantime, for those of you who have one of these or looking at one, these are still available at Amazon and Walmart for about $300. They come with the Power Wheels battery, and that battery, as far as I can tell, it can last a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe longer, depending on how much it gets used and how often it's fully discharged and recharged. So when the battery goes bad, you got a few options actually. You can replace it with another Power Wheels battery, which is a 12 volt, and I think they're up to 12 amp hours now. And that battery is going to cost around $80 to $85. Or you can replace it with an aftermarket battery. The battery I use is a 12 volt, 15 amp hour battery. That's the biggest battery that I could find that would fit in the battery compartment in the back of this Dune Racer. The other option is to look at doing what a lot of other people are doing, and that is to replace the battery and go with some lithium drill batteries such as this one here. And that's a little bit more involved. The simplest thing is to just go ahead and spend the $85 on a Power Wheels battery, swap them out, and you're good for a couple of years again. If you go with the aftermarket and you get a little bit bigger battery, the 15 amp hour versus the 12 amp hour, that gives you a little bit more duration for the kids to be riding around in. And it doesn't really give you more power because they're all 12 volt batteries. So what I'm going to do is show the details on what I did to this one here to put an aftermarket battery in it. So we'll move around to the back of the Dune Racer and show you what I did. When I got this Dune Racer, the charger had already been lost, but it still had the old battery. So one of the things you do if you have the old batteries, you can peel the top of the battery off, and I'm sorry I don't have the old battery to show you that, but you take the top of the battery, you peel that off with a oscillating saw, and inside that you'll find there's a plug with a couple of wires inside the battery. And there's some other videos on this. But anyway, so open up the back battery hatch. If you already have one of these, you know this, but the battery's slid in here. And here is the battery. Actually, this is a 12 amp hour battery. So this is the one that she had received from somebody else. I have another Dune Racer, and I put a larger battery in that one. So what I did was, this is the plug. Whoa, stay up there. So this is the plug that's attached to the car. And this is the plug that's inside the battery. So you open up the Power Wheel battery, pull this plug with these wires out of it, and then you can attach that to your new battery. You should also add a fuse. This one here, I've got a 20 amp fuse, 25 amp fuse. That seems to be working all right. You probably should use a 30 amp fuse, or as high as a 40 amp fuse is okay. And this just plugs in here. Now the other thing, since she lost the charger, I went ahead and wired in a DC plug in here. That's available online. I'll have that in the comments on where that's available. And then you can buy another charger. And it's a battery charger maintainer. So you can leave this plugged in all the time. You don't have to unplug it. It will not overcook the battery. And then I attach the other end of the DC plug onto this. It came, I think, with a couple of clips. The alligator clips, and then you can just use this and plug that in the wall and plug that right in there. And the battery can be plugged in here Got to turn it around the right way. And that slides into the spark. And what you have to do is pick up the battery, the front of the battery, you have to pick it up a little bit, get it over a hump. Otherwise you won't be able to close this door. When you close that, the latch snaps up. And that's about all there is to that. You can connect the wires with butt connectors, you know, crimp them. I went ahead and soldered all my connections. It's fairly easy for me. So anyway, that's what you want to do if you want to just do an aftermarket replacement battery. My next video is going to be taking this out and putting in the drill batteries, the 20 amp Black & Decker batteries. Thanks for watching and good luck with your Dune Racer.